Hey YouTube, we are slowly getting there. 28.95 with Typhlosion, Dusclops, Jumpluff. A very straightforward team and idea. Typhlosion, super glassy on the lead to shield it. Jumpluff, Dusclops in the back with bulk. Try and align. Both are resist fighting. Um, Jumpluff's gonna have more problems with steel, which obviously Typhlosion will deal with. But if you can't get Typhlosion on it, then Dusclops on it is okay. So save swap, tough, I guess Dusclops, but it's not a great option on this team. But let's just play out the lead and we'll see what happens here. Drapion with the spammy Aqua Tails, getting to the Thunder Punch here. Probably should have gone one more. 15, 20. I guess no, maybe I shouldn't have. So yeah, this one I am safe swapping Jumpluff, which is risky, right? Because if you see a Steel, you're in trouble. If you see an Ice, you're in trouble. So I don't maybe love this safe swap, but in the moment decided it was the best option. Getting off the Aerial Ace, they double shield, which is interesting. I'll take that. Maybe they have like a double ground team in the back or something. So I'm going to come Typhlosion and just shield and get this Blast Burn ready. And we'll see, because even if they have a ground in the back, I can just start throwing some Blast Burns. And it is a Diggersby, right? So there's your ground. Makes sense why they Flying Grass, they did not want to come in. So get out the first Blast Burn. That is quick. So I know I can, that's just going to be Fire Punch. I know I can live this, and I'll probably bank this move. Or throw it and take this out, and we'll just kind of play out the back matchup. We'll see what happens here. So Blast Burn this out, instant swap. And it is an Azumarill, so very bulky Pokemon. I guess that makes, I guess it has Ice Beam, but when you see grass, you maybe get a little scared. So now it is a race, and who will be able to take out who here? Spammy versus a little slower, but harder hitting. So here comes the second Shadow Punch. Looks like I'm going to need 4, but here is my third. So as long as I live this play rough, I should be able to get to a 4th and take this out. I do get to the 4th. Actually, I may not take it out. I may leave it like 1 HP here. Couple HP. That is just how tanky it is. And with that, I make the catch on the Typhlosion. Catching that move. Can now Hex down. Take that matchup there. Typhlosion into Diggersby. A weird one, right? Dusclops has Ice Punch, so it has options here. This sets it up for such an easy bait. I'm not even going to be surprised if I'm not surprised if it's Fire Punch. The problem is they outpace you to the Scorching Sands versus the Blast Burn, and so if they can do that, they can just easily bait there, which they did. So I will grab one shield back, and then I will go Dusclops. I know Hex is resisted, but so is Quick Attack. So it's just a super effective Ice Punch versus a Stab Scorching Sand. So it's not a bad trade-off here. So getting to this Ice Punch, they will probably let it go because they've already burnt 1 shield. It'd be pretty surprising to them to burn 2 shields on a Diggersby. So they're going to get another one off here. And that is fine. I'm going to overfarm a little bit here. Just come out with some energy. So there goes the Diggersby. Out comes a Malamar. And this is where just going to start putting on some pressure onto onto them, right? Because Shadow Malamar hits hard, but man, it's a little glassier. So they are forcing to throw that because they do not want to take another Shadow Punch because that would put them into the deep yellow. So they throw. That just means I now get alignment on the Jumpluff. What's in the back? A Grumpig. Get an instant swap. I really thought that they would shield this. The only reason I didn't throw... the only reason I did not throw a Blast Burn is because I thought they would shield this to try and get to a move here. They do end up getting to a move. They did overfarm a lot, so they could have like close to 2 moves. But now they're just going to let me, because they let me take them so low, get to 2 Aerial Aces essentially. I'm just 1 Fairy Wind short of an Aerial Ace here, a second Aerial Ace. So here comes the first one, and the second one will just be immediately after this. But now they shield, so I could probably just Acrobatics. I probably could have just Aerial Aced out with the Fairy Winds. Super effective, but Getting to an acrobatics to confirm is not a bad situation. Jumpluff, finally a good lead. They'll get out into something. That something is a Annihilate. So I will 2 Incinerate and then come in and just eat the Jumpluff on the rest of this here. 1 Rage Fist is not going to take me out. Throwing pretty quickly. I don't want them to get to a second Rage Fist because that would put me pretty low here. And they do let go, so that is great. I keep switch. They have their own Jumpluff again. I'm going straight acrobatics. I do not expect them to shield when I have a typhlosion on the lead. There's no real point to. They have to 2 shield whatever's in the back here. So that acrobatic lands. And now they instant swap into Blastoise. I'm just chipping with Aerial Ace because I think that Hex and Shadow Punch can just spam the rest here. Gonna force them to throw here. Yep, gonna force them to throw here. I could probably live a Hydro. And gonna bank a move. I don't know why I just didn't throw that to burn that shield, but that's okay. I know I can take at least 1 Hydro here. It looks like I can take a second one too, but the rollouts might start adding up here. Yeah, I'll shield 1. They're already down a shield here. So Hydro Cannon, shielded, Shadow Punch coming through. I'm gonna need a second one for sure. They do end up shielding that. Oh, they haven't burnt a shield yet, but well, they're gonna start burning shields now. They would have burned a shield if I threw that Aerial Ace, but that's okay. There's the second shield. I expected a catch, and they did try and catch, but I tried to snipe, and I just lost that Aerial Ace. So I don't know if net that was the best move, but Incinerate down, have a shield advantage, have Thunder Punch. This will take out the Blastoise. Typhlosion into Talonflame. So I think good lead. Thunder Punches are going to come quicker than the Flies will. So they go for the extra Incinerate, which makes sense. They know they're going to lose CMP here. But once they get that extra Incinerate through, I'm going to get my extra Incinerate through, knowing that they're probably just going to try and CMP and try and get all cute with the Incinerate timing there. So got the extra one through, got the Thunder Punch off. They shield for the second time as they're getting to their second move. So I will shield back, knowing that I'm going to outpace to this next one. Let's see if they get out of here or just let it go down. They do let it. Nope, they catch on a Credilli. Yeah, I was about to say, it's kind of smart. I'm going to get that Thunder Punch right back and then get into the Dusclops, which can just take these moves, have a super effective Ice Punch. They're probably going to lower my attack twice before I get to that Ice Punch, though. So, oh no, okay, get it off before. Still not enough to take out. Ice Punch non-stab from a Dusclops lowered is not going to be able to take out a half health Credilli. So get to this move here. Probably a second. Oh, go for Grass Knot. Look at my opponent there. Talonflame comes back in. Shadow Punch. Probably not enough to take out, especially with my attack lowered. Gonna have to go for the aggressive Hex down. Did not get it. They do take me out with 1 HP. So what am I gonna do here? I have no shield, so I'm gonna have to just sacrifice something. No, I'm gonna CMP. Right, I have the Thunder Punch banked, so I'm gonna CMP the Thunder Punch. Take that out. Instant swap into Talonflame. It is a superior in the back. So that's fantastic. Yes, they have Aerial Ace, but this is just a terrible matchup overall for the superior. Try to overfarm and time a throw, but they catch, which is okay. I need to take that out anyways, so I'd rather not take any move from them. Get to the second acrobatics. This will chip, if not take out. Yep, that will one-shot acrobatics. This is a hard-hitting move. Okay, Carbink, I think we know where this is going. I remember I got kind of lucky in this one, but I still lost. You're double weak to rock. I mentioned in my video, I'll say this morning. I mentioned in my video this morning about being double weak to rock and how I saw a couple Carbinks, and this team is double weak to rock with Typhlosion and Jumpluff, and I'm double weak to Carbink, and I saw a couple of them. This one, they do end up staying in this one. So I think I shield just because I'm like, I need to keep this alive for alignment here because I have nothing else to deal with it. I think it cost me in the ending because that's not how you want to play this team. So if you want a second bulky Pokemon, you don't need to use Jumpluff. You can use, this Jumpluff is also an answer for water and ground, which is why I used it. I guess another answer for water and ground that is not weak to rock would be just a straight out grass. So maybe something like a superior instead of a jumpluff to not make you double weak to rock here. But lucky for me, they did stay in, but now being down a shield, actually they do shield and take switch here. So take switch, I'll just come and jumpluff, do farm down. So not bad, but now it's just alignment issue. They have a drift blim. Getting to an acrobatics here. And then I'll instant swap. And I do grab the second shield, so now I'm up shield, but I think it's a ground Pokemon in the back. Yeah, it's a Gastrodon. So if it was just a straight ground like Marowak, I can blast burn this out, but it is a water ground. Don't see many Gastrodons, but you know, having a Carbink and a Gastrodon take alignment on your Typhlosion is pretty tough to come back from. So I will go down here. I commit to the farm down knowing I need to come out with 2 moves, but they get to a second move here. Fairy Wind just not enough to take down. They're going to get a second move to take me out here. So Typhlosion into Morpeko. So kind of a weird one, knowing that they're going to get to the moves in 10, 2, and just out. That was not 10. So that was just a Psychic Fangs, which is kind of interesting. And then I go 1 and throw a Thunder Punch, and then they catch that on the Typhlosion. So my opponent having all sorts of problems here. The problem is if they double shield, which they may, they will come out with essentially 100, maybe 80 energy there. So I'm going to have to eat some moves, but I probably burn a shield on Dusclops here anyways. So there's the first fly. I'm going to probably have to shield 1 here. And then they get out into Corviknight. So I'm like, okay, Jumpluff is terrible against Corviknight, so I just have to play this matchup out and chip as much as I can here. So here comes the second Shadow Punch. And can I get to a third? I kind of need to get to a third. I do not. They dump their energy. Hopefully I live. If not, I remember this matchup because this is how you become legend. This is energy management 101. They're going to get to a Sky Attack. That's fine. I need to basically acrobatics every single thing out of here. So here comes your Talonflame. I'm going to throw that on 1 and then so that Incinerate does not register because I do not want that Incinerate to register. That does a lot of damage. So there's the first one gone with the acrobatics. The next one comes back in is a Morpeko. Again, I could try an Aerial Ace now. And I did try before they took me out, but that's okay because I can take this and then farm up. Oh no, I did Aerial Ace, but I did overfarm a couple. I maybe could have thrown it before to take it out, but overfarmed a couple, take that out, and that is what I needed because I need to get to an acrobatics here, and I get to the acrobatics to take out the Corviknight. Drapion, we've seen this. Have we seen this? Either way, they outpace to the Aqua Tails, but these Incinerates really add up. So between the Incinerates and Thunder Punch, I think you can like maybe 2 shield it and maybe catch a third move on this. Or they make a nice catch on a Claydol here, so that's unfortunate. Gotta come in where I can do super effective with the Hex and Shadow Punch. I am down a shield, but that's okay. That's kind of what this back line is for. So we get 1 off there. They're going to get to a move. That's okay. I can live this with ease. I will try and overfarm a bit. So get to the second Shadow Punch. This will take out. They do let it go. Not surprising. They have a Drapion on the front, which will do well here overall with the crunches. But decide to come with Lapras instead. I know Poison Sting is resisted, but so is Shadow Punch. And so I'm going to bank that move, get into this matchup here. Try and spam. What am I doing here? I'm trying to spam to take this out. Right, they're pretty low on the Drapion. I can live a crunch. And I think they're essentially in fast move damage range for the rest of it. I probably will throw an Aerial Ace just in case I can take this out. And then just start spamming these fast moves. And they do let, I remember this. I remember why it was in fast move range because I was kind of surprised at what they are doing here. So 2 shields. Um, throwing a Sparkling Aria here. I've got a ton of health on both these Pokemon, so shield up one. Even if they had like back-to-back here, which they couldn't because they just dropped the other one, I could just come and probably Hex the rest of the way down, so I don't really know what they were saving their shields for. Marowak, terrible lead. Gonna have to safe swap into... Yeah, there's your Dusclops safe swap, just to be met with a Drapion, so tough lead and tough switch here. We'll have to see if I can overcome this, but, you know. I think I went 8-3 with this team because I had 11 matches in my sort of saved matches there that I did, and it was only 3 losses, so I went 8-3, 28.95. As of filming this video, I'm at 29.07, very, very slowly creeping. I tried, so it was kind of weird. So I mentioned in my video this morning how there was a lot of Stunfists everywhere. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And I had 2 matches where it did not work super well, but I did win the matchups and it did do okay against some Pokemon. So I'm like, okay. And then I lost like the next 3 with it, and I'm just like, screw this Pokemon, I hate it. So then I switched to another team. And I forget what that team was, but I had kind of lucky where I had like at least one legend, I think, throw. I had another one where I was against, he tagged me in the home slice, Henry Discord, tagged me saying that they played that matchup very badly, which I remember a matchup they did play very badly. I probably should have lost that one, but they did not. I ended up winning that one. So slowly creeping. I'm at like, yeah, 29.07, I think, something like that. We'll see if I can hit. Again, I'm going to try and play as much as I can here. I know there's 100. I won't play all 100 per day because I don't think that's reasonable for me anymore, not with the amount of videos I'm putting out on top of a third video being on my other channel. Landing that acrobatics there is huge. Sableye in the back. Jumpluff. I mentioned this in another video. Again, you're getting kind of... I explained how to use the team, so you know what's going on here. I explained this in another video, how there's only 2 things that set the meta, right? PvPoke and content creators. And forever, PvPoke had Aerial Ace and Energy Ball, and it made sense at the time, right? You had a Shadow Jumpluff. Aerial Ace in itself can chip. And Energy Ball gives you that coverage for all the waters and ground that are in this meta. So it 100% made sense. And then I forget who was the first person to use this double flying line. And then since then, PvPoke has actually updated that Aerial Ace Acrobatic is the best move. And it's kind of crazy to think to not use Acrobatics on a Shadow Jumpluff. Because Acrobatics in itself is such a it's a community move. But with your Fairy Wind fast move and with same type attack bonus and with the shadow bonus, Acrobatics from a Shadow Jumpluff is 158.4 damage, 2.88 damage per turn, and you get to it in 14, 12, and 12. So to think logically that you had a 158 damage move that you can get to in 14, 12, 12, and 12 and not use it is pretty dumb. But it's just like, and I'm definitely one of the main... what's it called? One of the people who definitely kind of follow PvPoke, sort of, not blind, like blindly to a certain extent, that I didn't even question it. Because again, Energy Ball in itself, same energy, 29 less damage, so it's still 129.6 damage. And I'm like, well, that coverage is probably worth it because you got so many ground and waters. But then just realizing like how much that extra 28 damage does in even neutral situations. Being worth it there. So although with all the Stunfists coming up, and if you get like rocks and stuff coming up, I saw the Carbink and stuff, you probably want that Energy Ball, but I mean, it's pretty good to not have it as well. And Typhlosion sweeping this last matchup here for the win. 28.95, like I said, 29.07, still slowly grinding. Hopefully we hit Legend in the next few days here. Or at least before the Go Battle weekends. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. Again, please submit below. I saw another one from, I think it was Mark, sent another team for Great League, and that's the only submission. So my friend, you are on deck for tomorrow morning for sure. So anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.